on him. Watch for the smoke to come on as Larry Arkin brings the GEICO Skytypers to the NAS homecoming Airshow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the aircraft perform today, let me introduce the pilots to you. Leading the flight is Larry Arkin with Steve Kapoor. At the right wing, Ken Johansson. At the left wing, Rob Steele. Slot position is Bob Johansson. Lead solo, Steve Salmers. And wing solo is Tom Daly. We also want to recognize another key pilot on our team, Mr. Jim Record. Now let's watch as the Delta maneuvers in front of you here. The wingmen have to trust their lead and match his every action to stay exactly aligned with him. This is especially difficult for tail-wheeled aircraft since everyone start together, but watch as they work to maintain that 1 foot wingtip to wingtip clearance. Now watch as the two solo pilots have been broken off and released as they cross at show center right there to identify a threat and called a bogey. And once they've identified it as a bandit, they are going to demonstrate their next maneuver, the opposing solo two-circle guns pass. It's Steve Salmers and Tom Daly. When two aircraft engage in air-to-air maneuvering, they attempt to pass as close as possible to one another with two options. Either maneuver to the advantage or escape to safety. Turning towards each other would put both aircraft in separate or two circles as each tries to outturn his opponent. They're diving for energy, approaching one another at a closure rate of 320 and roll into each other, passing canopy to canopy just 50 feet apart. Turn their smoke off right about now, and I want you to watch for the rest of the formation to the front and left of show center. They will show you another basic skill that's taught to our men and women in flight school, something known as a turning rejoin. When aircraft are separated for some reason, such as with individual takeoffs, they need to get back together or rejoin to continue with a mission. One method is for the lead aircraft to add power and make a turn, and all the other aircraft join by adding power and putting their nose in front of the lead to fly a shorter distance. The pilots must know where each other is and how to maneuver their aircraft to get on board as quickly and safely as possible. Teams accomplish that rejoin. Today they're rejoining into a diamond formation. Larry Arkin, Ken Johansson, Rob Steele, and Bob Johansson are the GEICO Diamond. Now that they've rejoined, we're going to treat you to a Diamond S or a snake pass. You'll get a good view of the aircraft from the formation as they wind their way in front of you, changing from belly up to canopy up. Flying these World War II aircraft requires an unusual set of skills. Skytyper pilots must be able to fly large tail-wheeled aircraft, as well as being accomplished formation pilots. This is not always easy to find the right match. Former Navy and Air Force pilots. Now, as the Diamond departs, please focus your attention once again to the solos as they come in from the left and the right, head-to-head. For the solo one-circle guns pass. The difference between this and a two-circle pass is that both aircraft will turn in the same direction. This type of air-to-air engagement is used when one aircraft has superior maneuvering ability or to take advantage of a mistake. Just prior to crossing, lead's going to pitch up. The lead solo will pitch up and roll too early, allowing his opponent to lead will then make another mistake in reverse course trying to escape. This only makes it easier for his attacker to maneuver into a gun's firing position. As the aviators say, it is 6 o'clock. Watch as the lead aircraft jinks to try to stay out of trouble. The rear aircraft popping smoke right now, indicating that he's firing simulated guns at the opponent. In a moment, you'll see the lead aircraft start to pop smoke, indicating that he's taken a hit, even though he tries to jig to stay out of the way. Steve Salmers and Tom Daly. That is the solo one-circle guns pass. You just witnessed has gone from flat to vertical. The references the wingmen use must change completely, as they now have to look almost straight up, and lead becomes their world. Watch now as the vertical diamond approaches, then peels off or breaks down the runway into a trail position. Ken Johansson, Rob Steele, and Bob Johansson. GEICO Skytypers 1 to 4. Now, if you look straight ahead again, you can see the solos approaching for a simulated bomb run. To attack a target, you must sometimes stay low under radar coverage, fly to a point that's been pre-identified through map study, pull up sharply to acquire the target, and gain enough altitude to drop your bombs. Oh, and that's not all. Different climb angles and attack directions don't confuse the gunners on the ground. Watch them pop up, and this is the solos bomb run. Dive in on the target, and get the guns going. By the way, that sound you hear, ladies and gentlemen, is not just the sound of the 600 horsepower Pratt & Whitney radial engines. It's the sound of the propeller tips of the Hamilton standard propellers going supersonic at about 2,300 revolutions per minute. The solos are exiting off to the left as a defensive team now, clearing their 6 and searching for the formation. In the military, a flight of 2 aircraft is the smallest element to fly. Attack on the same ground targets the solos have just bombed. Here comes Larry breaking off. Ken, Rob, Bob, Steve, and Tom. Oh, a beautiful sight. The blue skies above NAS Pensacola. Exiting to your left, flight lead will reform the squadron with yet another rejoin, only this time into the GEICO Skytyper fan formation. Today, these aircraft have taken on a new role of writing those giant messages in the sky which you saw earlier today, called skytyping. J2 aircraft do the GEICO Skytyper fan pass. Stand by for the smoke. Smoke on now. Ladies and gentlemen, the GEICO Skytypers fan pass. Continue to watch the aircraft as they rejoin, flying straight ahead, and then reverse back to give you one more exciting opportunity to place these magnificent World War II icons indelibly in your minds and cameras. These aircraft are operated most of the year in the New York metro area and are based in Farmingdale, New York at Republic Airport. For more photos of the Skytypers, check out their website at www.skytyping.com. Coming in from the right in their photo pass, here come the Skytypers. Smoke off. Now watch. Right wing, Ken Johansson. Left wing, Rob Steele. Slot pilot, Bob Johansson. Lead solo, Steve Salmers. And wing solo, Tom Daly. successful air show performance must end with a successful landing. And notice the aircraft are now forming into a single line. They're going to aim for the same point on the runway and land on alternate sides. Landing a large tailwheel aircraft. These aircraft, by the way, weigh 5,500 pounds apiece. They land a little trickier than an aircraft with a nose wheel because the center of gravity is behind the main wheels, and if you don't handle it just right, you can get into a dreaded thing called a ground loop. That won't happen with these SNJ2s flown by the GEICO Skytypers. As I mentioned earlier, the Skytypers are sponsored by GEICO Insurance. Stop by and talk with the pilots at the GEICO tent at 1:30 today and get a signed picture and some neat gecko gifts. The GEICO tent is located down in the vendor area back to the left, way off to the left of Show Center. There's Larry Arkin with Steve Kapoor in the back seat. Then Ken Johansson rolling out on short final, just about to touch down. The left wing, Rob Spio, still out over beyond the numbers, just over the numbers now, is Bob Johansson. With a quarter-mile final, lead solo Steve Salmers, and behind him, wing solo Tom Daly. When the Skytypers taxi back, they'll be going back to parking, and once again, down at the GEICO tent, way on the left-hand side of the show area, back away from the flight line, is the GEICO tent, and all 6 pilots will be there to sign autographs and meet you. Plus, GEICO Skytyper number 8, Jim Record, will be down there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause for the GEICO Skytypers.